She really did. You gotta change her reality TV show.
I'm gonna need you to just sit there.
Exactly.
This is a graduate, okay, baby? I'm 21. I'm scared. Going to school for what? Media production?
Yes.
What school you going to?
Morgan State University.
Okay. Okay, Morgan State, HBCU.
Lord.
There we go. I'm gonna get a minute.
Are you dipping? I'm gonna dip. As soon as he starts to get up, I'm dipping.
Yeah, Jay!
Ooh, shit. One.
There we go.
What up, Nelly? You ready to do another one, bro?
Our next scholarship is the Argy Achievement Scholarship. The Argy family awards several generous scholarships annually to Niagara Falls High School students in memory of Joseph R. Argy and Michael J. Argy, based on academic excellence, extracurricular activities, and community involvement. Javion Matthews,
And now for the subject of business math, Javion Matthews.
And now we're going to bring up our President's Education Award winners who had an overall grade point average of 90 or higher over the 4 years here at Niagara Falls High School. Javion Matthews.
Welcome. Bienvenido. Ciao Mung. Dobro Pajalovitz. And Herzlich Willkommen. That's just a taste of the amazing diversity we have at our school and in our district. It would be easy for me to talk about just my experiences in this speech. But this day isn't just about me. It's about all of us. I'm keeping this intro and this whole speech purposely kind of vague in order to celebrate everyone here today. We may come from 8 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and more than a few countries, but we all did this, and we all did it together. We are living in unprecedented times. That's a phrase we've heard a lot this past year and a half. From our teachers over Microsoft Teams to car commercials during the Super Bowl. Because of course, in the middle of a global pandemic is when I really need a new Subaru. No, obviously I bought a Hyundai. Subarus are so pre-pandemic. We've all heard it a million times, but no one in this generation has ever seen anything like this. If we want anything truly comparable, we'd have to go back over a century to the Spanish flu, and none of us lived through that. But I understand if maybe we want to steer clear of COVID talk from now on. So I promise I'll keep it to a minimum in the rest of this speech. But I really do think it's worth noting how much work we put in just to be here today. To be graduating on time with all of our friends in an actual in-person ceremony, socially distanced and with hoops to jump through, though it may be. Maybe this is cheesy, but let's get a little round of applause for the class of 2021 and all the people who helped us get here. Now, let's jump way, way back all the way to pre-K. For most of us, that first day or month or year of school was probably our first interaction with the real world. We met new people, made new friends, and took nap time for granted. I'm proud to say that even then, I was a suck-up, and my clothespin stayed on green on the stoplight chart the entire year. So woo me. That year didn't cover much content, but it introduced us to the very basics of academics and human interaction. Pre-K was the beginning that put us on the path for the next 13 years of our lives. Skip to kindergarten, and that's where most of us probably started to learn more things about ourselves. Maybe it was art class and a love of painting, or maybe it was math class and a hatred of numbers. For me, it was the love of reading I discovered with Mrs. Zito's extensive collection of Junie B. Jones books. I will be the first to admit that the U.S. public school system is far from perfect. But I think one of the things it's best at is teaching us lessons about ourselves, as it teaches us lessons about math, science, history, and ELA. Fast forward again. Grades 1 through 6 are a blur. Some of us transferred schools, we started to actually have homework, and now we really wanted nap time back. But grade 7 is when things really changed. Kids from 8 elementary schools funneled into just 2 middle schools. We went straight from a bunch of little ponds into 2 giant lakes. Again, just as in pre-K, we met new people, made new friends, and took new classes. Instead of 1 classroom, now we cycled through 7 different ones throughout the day, and probably got a little bit lost if you're like me. We thought we were doing a lot in 6th grade, but middle school cranked it up a notch. Suddenly, there was even a way to go up the stairs incorrectly. Half of the time, I went up the downstairs and down the upstairs, but Mr. Spanbauer doesn't need to know about that, so shh. This is also when some of us might have started to really resent school, because it felt like too much work for not enough reward. I know I felt like that for a while. But we kept our heads down and trudged through, because everyone said high school would be the best years of our lives, and we just needed to get there. Those 2 years were pretty hard for some of us, but we made it. We're here today. 9th grade came, and again we were funneled into fewer schools than we had come from, or more accurately, fewer school. And for some reason, lunch is at 10:30. Who knows? But for the last 4 years, NFHS has been our home away from home, at least just based off of the sheer amount of time we've spent here. I know between school and clubs, in a normal non-hybrid year, I'd probably spend more time here than in my own house. I was able to delve into my love of the arts through our choirs and musicals and plays, and I made some of my best memories here. I don't know if I'd go as far to say these are the best years of my life. I don't have that kind of foreknowledge. Maybe in my 30s I'll solve world hunger, I don't know, go to Jupiter. But regardless, I know I've made some of my best memories in these past 4 years, and I've built a family with the friends I went here with. But now those memories are behind us. And it might kind of feel like, well, what do I do now? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I know. I don't. I don't think anyone here does, even the adults. Moving on to the next step in our journey is a big leap of faith, and for some of us, an even bigger bill. College costs so much. But that's not the point. The point is, we can never know what the future holds. All we can do is plunge head first and try. This is just the first time that we've been able to make the choice for ourselves. We've done this before. Every time we moved from elementary to middle school to high school, we took it on faith that everything would work out. It's just in our hands now. So though we may not have specific experience with this next chapter yet, we have experiences with faith. Heck, after this last year and a half, we're pros at it. People always say that nothing is certain in this life but death and taxes. I'd like to add another item to that list. Us. We are certain, and we are steady, and we will make it. All we need is a little faith in ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I have an abundance of faith that the Niagara Falls High School class of 2021 is going to go on to do amazing things. We have the ability and the responsibility to make the future that we want to live in. So let's go forth and make it great.
Good afternoon, everyone. Students, first things first, everyone take out your phones, and on the count of 3, we're all gonna delete Teams and forget all about it. Come on, everyone, bring them out. Bring the phones out. I wanna see them. Ready? All right, we're gonna delete them. Uh-huh. You ready? Delete it right now, delete it. We're done. I'm proud of you guys. Class of 2021. It amazes me to stand in front of you today knowing everything we've been through this year from the pandemic. Last March, we got the best, worst news of our lives. School was out for 2 weeks. I am beyond proud of everyone for working through the storm of issues we could not control and turning it all around like it never happened. We are all a part of history and can say that we are the first class of students after a whole year of COVID to graduate.
These 4 years passed by so fast. I can remember my first day of high school, on the verge of tears and mixed with so many emotions. I didn't know what to expect. Although many of us have had lots of struggles with classes, drama, homework, etc., we made it through every class and every single assignment. It turns out that all of the long nights of studying and mental breakdowns finally paid off. Maybe in the future, we can finally find out why, just why, we needed to learn about functions in the Pythagorean theorem.
I know you guys got my back when I say that the time spent in 9th grade math class trying to figure out how to complete proofs, all the way to trying to figure out what the heck a thesis statement was in English class, were all problems we imagined were so bad at the time. But now, as we begin to trickle into our adult life, we will encounter numerous different challenges and problems. Knowing the kind of people we are, I have the utmost amount of hope and faith that with hard work and dedication, we are able to do whatever we put our minds to.
Most of us have known each other since middle school, and for some of us, even elementary school. There is so much beauty in having the opportunity to watch all of your peers and friends grow with you throughout the years. I am so grateful for this high school experience. Within these past 4 years, we were all able to find our true identity, our true value and worth, along with surrounding ourselves with positive people that will uplift you. I have learned so many important things throughout my time in high school, things that I will carry on with me for the rest of my life. Always remember that you are in charge of the limits you set for yourself. And if you don't do it, nobody else will. Don't be afraid of failure, because if you never fail, you will never know what it feels like to overcome it. And most importantly, be who you want to be in life. It's not your responsibility to live up to other people's idea of you. I know for a fact that every single student sitting here today has so much potential. So as we say goodbye to our childhood and become introduced to the long-awaited adulthood, let's try our absolute hardest to fulfill our purpose, be great, and continue to make more memories.
One thing I commend this class for is togetherness. We can all say at one point of our high school careers, we have all come together for each other for a good cause. The friend groups and relationships of this class are like no other, especially through the pandemic, where we have all learned to care for the ones around us and to also check in on your friends that mean a lot to you.
Even though we missed some of the traditional senior events, during a worldwide pandemic, we pushed through and made the best out of it. And today, all of us can sit together and agree that we can pick out the positive things that happened this year. No other class can say that they have been through a year like this, having prom in the gym and outdoors, and being the first class to graduate on the football field. We were able to have the Motorcade class day, senior awards night, the lipdub, and we had the opportunity to decorate our caps. And if you look around, all of these people are able to be here with us together. You may have lost someone, but we are so fortunate to be here alive and together. Someday, you will look back on your Snapchat memories and say, yo, we really did that.
If it were one thing I could tell every new freshman coming into the high school, it would be to enjoy every moment, because it sure does fly by. Looking back and reflecting on my high school career, I can honestly say that I enjoyed all of the relationships that I have created with my peers and many of the intelligent staff of this building. Knowing time, I can never take back these past 4 years of my life. Throughout all of the hardships and challenges that come with it, these past 4 years just so happen to be the best years yet. I will forever remember Niagara Falls, as it has created a home for me, as well as a stepping stone for success in my life. I am beyond honored and grateful to stand upon this stage today and give thanks to everyone that has helped me grow into the person I am today, all while also being there for the hundreds of students sitting right in front of me. Congratulations, class of 21.
Good afternoon, fellow graduates, families, and faculty. Hi, Dad. Surprise. I didn't tell him I was doing this. Before I start, I'd like to express my gratitude to the countless people, Mom, Dad, teachers, parents, and friends who have landed me where I am today. It was because of you that I was granted this honor, one that I've been dreaming about ever since I was a little girl. Never in my life did I think it would happen this way, though, and in the past year I began to wonder if it would even happen at all. But here we are, together, and our caps are decorated. Congratulations, class of 2021. And when I say congratulations, I don't mean on graduating. Well, okay, I do. But more specifically, congratulations on making it through arguably the most chaotic time we've experienced during the most chaotic stage of a human's development. In the past year, we have spent endless time mourning. But there is a point at which you stop mourning and start working. Some of the greatest movements and creative works came from passion derived from pain. We're graduating, but not into a little world of our own. No. We're graduating into a world where the nation is fiercely divided. The world is healing from a deadly illness. The economy is recovering from crisis. And hatred and oppression linger from generations past. It is our duty not to accept this world, but to change it. And it starts here. I wrote my college essay on Niagara Falls. What a blessing to have been born here. Some of you might wonder what I mean by that. My answer is that Niagara Falls has taught us essential leadership skills: to accept others, to address issues, what garbage cans we can set out and when. But in all seriousness, I mean it when I say that our city has taught us invaluable lessons we will carry with us wherever we go. In my college essay, I wrote about the impact that growing up in Niagara Falls has had on my character. Our city is incredibly diverse, not only racially, but socially, religiously, and culturally. I've always had friends with different backgrounds than me, and being exposed to such rich diversity at a young age has impacted me immensely. I've had friends with big houses and friends with unhappy homes, friends with pin straight hair and friends with curly, wonderfully big hair. And I've learned something from each and every one of them. Being around people who were different than me taught me to accept the people around me, even if we did things differently, even if we ate different foods at Thanksgiving. Other cities and schools don't have what we have. Living in Niagara Falls has provided us with the opportunity to learn acceptance. The virtue of accepting and tolerating others is powerful and necessary in the real world where, again, it's not just a little world of our own. The earth is filled with billions of people who differ from us. In the face of this diversity, will you be able to handle it? Niagara Falls was your first test. Did you pass? Secondly, I think we can all agree there are things we would love to improve in Niagara Falls. This is the first step to change. Becoming passionate about a cause is what sets that cause into motion. The drive and passion of the people who live here inspires us to do our part in the world. Even young people at our schools speak up when they want to make a change. We petition, vote, protest. Because many of us students have not only witnessed, but experienced serious issues firsthand, we are able to do more to help. We understand the problems here, and we are ready to address them. All these bright minds you see here today possess the power to make a change in the world, because Niagara Falls has taught us to recognize and address the things that need change. So, just by living here, we have already been provided with some basic skills for making change. But it is up to us how we use them. I'm sure by now we all know that the world does not stand still. It continues turning throughout the disorder and confusion. It yields for no one. And in the wake of the world, as it is crumbling to madness, what can you do? What will you do? First, educate yourself about the issues you care about. Research by reading, asking questions, checking your sources. A wise teacher once taught me that in any debate, it is important that you know the opposing side just as well as you know your own. After you've soaked up all this information about your cause, it's time to act. Educate others, go to protests, contact your legislators, vote. This is the most important step. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. These are wise words from Martin Luther King Jr. You may read all about the issues in the world, but without action, nothing will change. There is one more very important point that I hope you remember. When the world is in disarray, it is not only our responsibility to make a change, but to support others. The most basic, but perhaps one of the strongest medicines, is human connection. When the world was shaken, we all came together. We sang on our balconies, honked through car parades, and innovated ways to be apart together. I mean, come on, we managed to do the lipdub in a time when we haven't even seen people's lips for a year. We even planned things like today. The world can be very overwhelming, but it is the spirit that keeps us going. The minds that will emerge from NFHS are not just bright. Niagara Falls students can be both book and street smart. We are familiar with the realities of life, if not in our own home, then in our peers. And after surviving a year of absolute madness, we are prepared for whatever life throws at us. Change is on the horizon, but we are the catalyst. I already see so many leaders here in the sea of blue and gold. Well, lead with sympathy and an open mind. Be ready to learn. Oh, you thought your learning was over? It's only just beginning. Congratulations, class of 2021. We not only made it, but we made it through the most remarkable of times.
Javion C. Matthews. Ariana Matthews.
Come on, babies.
Ariana Nicole.
Janaea Cartwright.
Come on. And y'all can say
Tashiana Cartwright.
hey, baby. Hey, Mom. Proud of you.
Leanna
Very warm.
Davis.
I know.